guys, welcome back to another episode of Garden to Table. Today's a little different. We might be cheating a wee bit. We have a peach tree and it was loaded down with peaches, but the squirrels robbed us clean, left us with zero. And we were fortunate enough to have a friend bring us some peaches, and so we're going to make the easiest peach cobbler ever. So we'll get started. It's a real easy recipe to remember. It's 1 cup of flour, 1 cup of sugar, 1 cup of milk, and 1 teaspoon of baking powder. And if you're using fresh peaches, you can use 4 to 5 roughly fresh peaches. Just use your own judgment depending on their size. And then if the season's not in or you don't have fresh peaches on hand, you can also use a 15-ounce can of sliced peaches. Just be sure and drain them. But first things first, we're going to go ahead and peel our peaches, get those sliced up. My hands look filthy, but I have been tying up tomato vines, and anybody that has experience with that knows that it stains your hands. I have done washed them 3 times. I'm just gonna throw it all down. And I have extremely dry hands, and so it seeps down in the cracks of my hands and they look terrible, but I promise they're clean. We have our oven preheated to 350. That's what we're going to be baking at today. We're also going to be cooking in a cast iron skillet. I always like to make my peach cobbler in cast iron, but you are welcome to use a glass casserole dish or whatever you prefer. An 8x8 would probably be good dimensions to go with. We've been out in the garden, we've been planting, we've been tilling, tying tomatoes. The kids have been going to the lake all weekend, so they're home. We figured we'd make a good old peach cobbler since we had these fresh peaches on hand, and we're fixing to fry up some pork chops in the deep fryer and use some of that good old cream corn. It's field corn with some sliced tomatoes and some peas, and I might even make some tomato gravy. Okay, that's 5 peaches, and I think that's gonna be about right.
As y'all can see, excuse me, she should have worked for the Army peeling potatoes, because she can run a knife like nobody's business. She does it with anything she peels. Potatoes, tomatoes, cucumbers. She fancy like Applebee's with a knife.
Everybody makes fun of my old knife, but for whatever reason, I just really like it. Next step, now that we've got our peaches sliced and peeled, got a little bit of a pit in there. Trash can ain't there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I do the same thing.
1 stick of butter. I might have failed to mention that in the ingredients, I can't remember, but we're gonna pop that in our cast iron skillet. And we're gonna go ahead and put it in the oven as it's preheating and let this butter melt down while we mix everything else up. Okay, we're gonna set our peaches to the side. We got 1 cup of all-purpose flour. Now, you can use 1 cup of self-rising flour and just leave your baking powder out if you have self-rising on hand. But if you're using all-purpose, we're going to need 1 teaspoon of baking powder. All right, 1 cup of sugar and 1 cup of milk. Easy, easy, easy. And I failed to get me something to start with. just gonna mix that up. This is your batter. You can sift your dry ingredients if you wanted to. I just usually don't because it's a cobbler. You know, you don't hear people making homemade ice cream much no more, but back when I was younger, we would make homemade ice cream around during the summer, and if we had fresh peaches, we would mix that in, and sometimes we'd do the cobbler to have with our ice cream to have, and put aside a cobbler with our ice cream, and some kind of good. All right, guys, it looks like our butter's melted. Maybe a little too much. And we're just going to take and pour our batter over in. Now, different people do it different ways. I pour my batter and then I put the peaches in. Just spread them evenly. You can't tell me that ain't gonna be good. Okay, and our oven's already preheated to 350. We're gonna pop that in. I like to put mine, especially when I'm cooking in the cast iron, on a cookie sheet, just in case I have any to bubble over. But we're gonna bake this around, we're gonna check it around 30 minutes. And just keep an eye on it, 30 to 40 minutes probably. And we'll let you know when it's ready. All right, guys, TJ is outside frying pork chops. We got some hungry mouths to feed. So I'm gonna try to conclude this video with the tripod, but it's been right at exactly an hour since we put the peach cobbler in the oven, and it's looking like it's ready. So we're gonna take it out. Don't that look scrumptious delish? You still hear it bubbling. But it's real quick, simple, not necessarily quick to cook, but it's quick to prepare. You've only got the 5 ingredients. Again, 1 cup of sugar, 1 cup of milk, 1 cup of flour, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, and 1 stick of butter. And again, if you don't have a cast iron or you prefer to cook it in a glass casserole dish, probably an 8x8 would be a good measurement to go with. Thanks for hanging out with us again here in the kitchen for another Garden to Table episode, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks, guys.